למלך Atavonim shiru 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 למלך V'siferes mefoyo Atavonim shiru shiru Atavonim shiru למלך Oy Atavonim shiru shiru למלך V'siferes mefoyo Oy 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 V'ashrei avodo voyavodo Hamashmiyim b'kol shivchoy V'atavonim shiru 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 למלך shiru shiru למלך Oy 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 vi ashrei avodo voyavodo Oy hamash miyim b'kol shivchoy Ve'atavonim shiru למלך שירו למלך שירו שירו למלך שירו שירו
Shalom, shalom, folks. How you guys are doing today? Shabbat shalom, Shavua tov. May God bless you. God be with you. I hope you guys are doing great. And it wasn't very hot day today, but in in the evening it was a little bit of drizzling, but not to the par. And it's still so hot, so warm here. I hope you had a nice Sabbath and you had a nice weekend. And we are wrapping it up with yesterday's what I started. I wanted to finish it up with a little more thoughts of that topic that we were talking yesterday. Yesterday we talked about the two religions that God chose to spread, to the people or to the common public to know that there is a God existing. Right now in the world, there are so many things regarding the religions, regarding the God, and regarding the non-God movement, and people are fed with tons and tons of knowledge and information, which makes them to confuse which way to go, what to believe, what not to believe, what to understand, what not. So there are so many distractions, there are so many informations. It's full of informations right now in the world. People are so disturbed in choosing the path um, of their life. That's very important. So, in that situation, I said that God was using these two big religions, Islam and Christianity, to inform the people, the common public, that there is a God existing, because he knew very well that during the last days what is going to happen, how it's going to happen. Right now, in the Jewish calendar, it's almost like 5,784th year, I believe, and only hardly 200 years more to complete the 6,000 years according to the Jewish calendar. Because the 6,000 year before the end of 6,000 years, definitely there is an expectation in the Jewish community that Messiah would be appearing or coming. And according to Jewish belief, Messiah means he's not going to come from the heavens on one fine day on the clouds or in the clouds or something like that. He might have already been born already. Probably they'll be choosing him, very pretty soon. Probably there is a person who already there who knew completely the Torah and every other mitzvahs, so that he would be teaching to everybody, in this world. So that's one thing that probably we are expecting we will be can happen anytime. 200 more years, you and me may not be there, period, for sure. And I don't know which generation is going to be fortunate enough to see the Messiah. That's the belief of Judaism and Jewish people. Right. On the other hand, Christianity believes on their own version of Messiah's arrival at any moment, because they were expecting Jesus to come back second time in the clouds. And there are so many other events are going to happen when Jesus comes. So this is a belief system, right? So you will have to be very careful what you're believing, what you're focusing, what is your faith. As I said that yesterday, there is going to be a lot of things going to be at the end of this world, or end of this. I'm not sure about the generation. I don't know when it's going to happen. Zechariah 8:23 we saw yesterday. It says that in those days, or in the last days, what would happen, and 10 people from every tribe would be going to a Jewish person, and they're going to just hang around, or just holding the hem of their garments and requesting them, telling them, we now understand your God is a true God, please take us with you. That's what they're going to tell to the Jewish people in the last days. That's written in Zechariah 8:23. Many of the pastors, or many of the evangelists, or nobody, many of them would never talk about these things, would never preach on this subject. Even though if they are preaching on this one, they will twist the word into something else and probably bring it Jesus in their one. That's how they will do. But exactly the Bible says that if you go and read Zechariah 8:23, it's clearly written. You need to understand how the Zechariah was written and to whom it was written, the Zechariah is mentioning. You need to know completely, and at least, if you do not know, you got to study it very well, or ask somebody what is the meaning of those things. So we saw that one yesterday, right? So what happens right now? It is something very unique. Things are happening right now in the world, folks, because you were sitting down on the eastern world, east side of this world, but I'm on the west side of the world. I am seeing so many things in my naked eye. What's happening in the western world? There are enormous amount of people. They're out there preaching and teaching the Torah, learning Hebrew. So many people are joining. I'm seeing it every single day. It's happening here. It never been in the history of this, in the universe or globe. Never ever been like this. Teaching Torah, learning the Torah, and joining into Judaism, leaving certain cultures, leaving certain traditions. It never happened this one before. It's happening right now. Even inside Israel, there is, when during the first time when they came back into the Israel, 1948, there were only a few people were learning Torah. at the Yeshiva means Jewish schools, the Torah schools. So there are very few people who were learning when they were you know during the time period of 1948 or something. Right now, hundreds and thousands of people right now learning Torah inside Israel itself. Could you believe this? Something is happening very seriously. Something is exploding very seriously. Jewish people never come out of their of the community, or meeting people, or they never been public. They're kind of a very kind of a, hidden type of a thing. They never expose themselves to outside people, and I've seen people were telling about them. Oh, they were very unapproachable. We could not able to talk to them. How would we go to a synagogue or in a temple? We could not able to go because they are not communicable, or they are not approachable, they are not friendly, they are unsocial. You just name it. That's how the Jewish people used to be like that. But right now, I don't know what happened right now in this world. Everybody's out there. Tons and tons of Jewish people, folks. I'm seeing a lot of people are preaching and teaching the Torah, and they're so bold enough to talk about everything. They're so bold enough to comment about everything. It is happening, never ever been in the world level. It never happened before. How could it possible? I have no idea. Is this a word? What this was telling? It is a word. How come it's possible? Every prophecy, everything exactly only in Judah, in Israel, whatever it was told to Jewish people or about Israel, that's the only prophecy it's been happening right now in the world, or even before. I never seen anything else as a prophecy. These are the prophecies that have been told for the Israel people, and it is right now exactly happening. Let us read one of them. Let's read Daniel chapter 12, I think verse 4. You know, um, Daniel chapter 12, verse 4. It says this: But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. People will be running here and there. People will be trying to understand. People will be trying to accumulate. People will be trying to achieve. People will be running here and there. People will be running to religion after religion, searching God, which is the best, which is not the worst, which is the worst. So you could see these are the signs and symptoms of the last days. It was written in Daniel chapter 12 and verse 4. It says exactly, and there will be increase in the knowledge. The knowledge shall be increased. Aren't we seeing that knowledge is tremendously, unbelievably increased right now? Don't you see that? You would see that right now we are in the era of artificial intelligence. Everything is going to be taken over by artificial intelligence. They say almost like 36 professions will be, vanished just because of the artificial intelligence. Folks, the knowledge is so full of this earth. The earth, yeah, I don't know whether earth could even able to, hold it or tolerate it, because such a knowledge explosion in every field, in every area, in whatever the science you mean, even in the metaphysical realities, are so unbelievable right now inside this world. It's happening right now. It was told the knowledge will be in increase in condition. It is happening, folks. It is happening. So at this time, are we still in the same place? That's my point. Is it's going to come closer and closer and closer. At the end of the times, you do not know what you're doing is right or wrong, because you're following certain things, you're observing certain things. What was told to you? by your forefathers, by your people, those who were before you. So you never had an opportunity to search and find what is the truth, where is the truth, is the truth, what I'm reading, is it the truth or not? How do I know? Is there anything that I could go and learn it? You never took an opportunity because people are running and trying to establish their life in the sense they don't even know. People think life is that you have to be born and you have to study well, get the highest degree possible, attractive degree possible, get a good job, good house, good car, enjoying things, and going out, having some parties, conducting some parties in the home, visiting places. These all things, this is what the life people are right now. But actually, that's not a life at all. Life is something totally different than that. But these people, what they do, they keep the religion, they keep the God on the side. They don't keep it as main life or anything, life partner or anything. They just keep it on the side because whenever they want, they go and pray and ask God to help him out in certain situations. That's the level that we are keeping the God right now. Folks, it's not that. It's not that. There is something else that life has to be celebrated in a different way. We are missing a lot. We are completely missing a lot because there is no one to teach us. There is no one to tell us in a nicer way, in a correct way, because we are afraid of the system. We we don't want it to come out of the system to learn something because tomorrow you will be left over. That's what your fear is. But you must think one thing, folks. You know, if you believe in true God, if you know your God, you will be suffering a lot in this world. Those who ever know about God, those who ever follow the true God, will suffer a lot in this world. See this Israeli people, the nation Israel. No nation under the sun who went through such a torture and agony and pain in their life like Israel, like Jewish people. No one under the sun. The path they went through was unbelievable, unimaginable. You could ever even think about that one. So it is such a difficult. Why those people have to go these type of things? Because those are the people are called the God's chosen people. Isn't it something wonderful? If you're chosen by God, means you should be having a fantastic life. It is not happening, folks. Still, their life isn't threatened. Every time, anytime, anything could happen. So the Bible very clearly says, in the last days, there will be increase in the knowledge. People will be running here and there. Today, everybody runs everywhere. People running to America, Australia, London, or Gulf countries to earn money, to get education, to get the finest education possible, and then to be they think that that's the only way to have a better life or better life. That's what they think, which is not correct, folks. If we believe in true God, if we honor the true God, we need to follow certain things. That's what it is. Bible clearly says that one. The Bible is just like when you're reading the Torah, means that you are actually making a relationship with God. That relationship is like an husband and wife relationship. When you talk to the God, when you're reading to the Torah, that means you are talking to God. It is so intimate. It is so intimate. That's the relationship between reading the Torah and to us. It's so intimate, folks. This is not been happening all these days in us or within us or in our community. I encourage you to focus on this one. I want to see one more word here. Um, I want to read one more word, that is Habakkuk chapter 2, um, words 14. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 14. It says that, "For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the God as the waters cover the sea." Like the waters are hovering over the sea, like the waters covering the ocean, it's going to be, the knowledge is going to be filling the earth. Right now, knowledge is filling, folks. Knowledge is completely the knowledge about God, the knowledge about the glory of God. Understand this, folks. Try to understand this one. It is not your belief system. Somebody told you to believe something that you are believing it. But have you ever tried to find out? Think about this one. How this Christianity came out. I told exactly yesterday that Islam came after Christianity, 600 years after Christianity. You know, Christianity or Islam or Mormonism or Buddhism or Hinduism, everything, this all came out of Judaism. So everything, they can never ever say or make the Torah or the Judaism as a false. They cannot do that one. If anybody make that, that is false, and their religion is the true one, that means automatically they will be stricken out, because that is a root cause. That is a root. You can never ever unlink Judaism from Christianity or Islam or in any other religion. It's difficult. But whereas Jewish people can easily unlink any religion attached to that one, because that's the beginning, that's the main thing, that's the ultimate startup, right from the beginning to the end. That's going to be everything. There is no way possible. Think logically. How it's possible? It could never happen. You know how this Christianity get in so popular? How? Because as when these Gospels, no one knew who wrote these Gospels till date. No one knew. It's not Matthew. It's not Mark. It's not Luke or John. No one knew who wrote the Gospel, because disciples were not illiterate people or something. And that too, these gospels were written after 40 or 50 years after. That's what the time period. And who would remember that? Disciples didn't write it. Disciples might have already gone and died already by the time. This was written by somebody else who no one knew who wrote this book. And Paul comes in the picture, claims that Jesus was, is God, and then he was started, doing everything. And he wrote the first book to Corinthians. He wrote within the 50 earth of AD 50, the year 50. That's right after the temple's destruction. Before even temple, because AD 70, the temple got destructed. Paul wrote the book before that. Could you ever believe that, folks? Imagine this. So Paul, the one thing what happened was, when the temple was destroyed, people were scattering everywhere. Disciples, no one knew where they went, right? So when they all scattered, the only thing is, there is no book, or there is no document for them to have it. The only document that who wrote that one was Paul, was the one who started writing about the Bible. That's what the main thing, because there's nobody there to tell you things, but Paul was the one. So that's how Paul's document stayed intact, more than the other documents, maybe which was written by Peter, which was not there, Peter or somebody. So Paul's books were written first, and it stayed just like that, because no disciples wrote any book at the time. It was not available. That's why Paul's doctrine stayed there. And almost like, there are so many other things if we talk about Pauline's doctrine, because Jerusalem at the first century, it was a Pauline's Christianity, and the other group was Peter, James, and John, and they had the one group. From there, a group with separated, that's called Jacobites. That's what they call. And then that group moved into Antioch in in Turkey, or on the side. So there is some other groups will start again. So the beginning, it was only the Pauline Christianity, or the Peter and the John, or um, James or Jacob Christianity was that time, was available during the first century. And then, when the Constantine came to the power, and then he changed everything. They compiled all these books, and then he has given the permission to, continue with the. Somehow Christianity got kicked up, or it got approved by Constantine, because there were so many flaws in the New Testament, which he didn't care about that one. He just got approved it. That's how this one was kicked into this world, and it came up to 1500. When the 1500 came, Martin Luther was there at the time period, and he went and kicked this one. Furthermore, classified into a Protestant in a group of people, and then it has been take off. Very short time period from 1900, it took off like anything. Folks, it doesn't matter how this one came, how this one was introduced to the world, how people were joined in this one. It doesn't matter. Have you ever searched yourself, your God? How are you following the right thing? If you are believing in God, if you believe that there is a God, you have to understand what is the truth, which is the true God. Otherwise, it's in vain. It's very clearly written in the Old Testament. During the last days, the knowledge of God, the knowledge of the glory of God will be like water is or hovering over the ocean. It will be filled on this earth. And right now it's happening, folks. Right now it's happening. Unbelievable amount of people are learning Torah. You would never ever believe that one. Unbelievable amount of people. It was never in the history again. I'm telling to you again and again. Please give some ears. Right now, as I told you the other day, in Christianity, they're getting awakening happening. All these years, the evangelists, the professors who they call, they were preaching something different. All of a sudden, now they understood the prayers should go to Father, not to Jesus. We shouldn't be asking anything. We shouldn't be asking to Jesus. We need to address the prayer to the Father. Right now, after all 50, 60 years after, right now, this is the time. Now they are realizing that this is the word that we should have been followed, because it is already written in the Bible and no one followed. Everybody was asking Jesus everything. But the Bible says clearly prayer should be conducted to the Father. Right now, people are coming up and boldly telling. One of the famous preacher that he told that this is how he told, we should be asking Father, not the Son or not the Jesus. Folks, I can talk to you the whole night tonight, but that doesn't matter. As I said, that like yesterday, it's going to be, during the end times, people will be following. There's no other chance. There's no other opportunity. There's nothing. That's how it is written about the Messiah and the Judaism and the Jewish people. People will be definitely accepting that and definitely following that. There is no doubt in that at all. It's going to happen maybe within your lifetime. I don't know when it is going to happen, but that's what it is. And be careful there. Read the Bible. Take at least remaining your days. Make it positive. Make it correctly. What you're doing is the right way to do. So understand this one, folks. I will catch you up on one more subject as quick as possible. I just want to complete this one, which I started yesterday, and go and read Daniel chapter 12 and 4, Habakkuk 2 and 14. You will understand what I'm talking to you. All right, guys, enjoy your time. Take care, and Shabbat Shalom, Shavua Tov. May God bless you. God be with you. Take care. Bye bye.
אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נעשה בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלו ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא עובר והוא עובר והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציא נברא לעת נשא בחפץ הכל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא עובר והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציא נברא לעת נשא בחפץ הכל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא עובר בתפארה והוא עובר והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת עשה בחפץ הכל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא עובר והוא עובר והוא יהיה